Thanks to the media for the coverage you've given us and for being here today. This is an important day for Weber State. 4 weeks ago to the day we stood here, feels a little bit like deja vu as Coach McBride announced his retirement, and we've been working tirelessly since that point to prepare ourselves for this great day. Under the direction of President Milner, I've approached a process to conduct a nationwide search to find the best fit for the 9th head coach in Weber State history. I appreciate the fact that our staff is here and our assistant coaches. This has been a taxing time for our coaching staff, as any change is, and they've been professional, and I appreciate the work that they've done to keep things going in the interim. Coach Smith and I met with the president, Norm Tarbox, our vice president for administrative services, last night at the president's house, and had a nice discussion about the goals and the future of this program, and we're confident that we're headed in the right direction. This morning, Coach Smith met with Coach McBride for a time and with the team, and we're ready to go. We're excited about it. I've spent a considerable amount of time meeting with Coach Smith. I flew to Arkansas and met with him for a time. And we've discussed many things, and I'm excited with the future of this program. I met Coach Smith about 17 years ago as I was just about to leave Utah State, but worked with him a little bit to develop a marketing program for the football team when he came on board. And it was a short meeting. I went in and asked him how he'd like us to approach the marketing of his team at Utah State, and he said, our marketing approach is to win, and then you can do what you need to do. So that was about the extent of our discussion, and he was right. So it gives me great pleasure today to announce the hiring of John L. Smith as the 9th head football coach in Weber State history. I want to just tell you a little bit about the process that we undertook here with this approach under the direction of President Milner and Dr. Tarbox, along with the support of Barry Gomberg, who heads up the Affirmative Action Office on campus, and the great support of our Human Resources Department with Holly Hurst and Cherry Nelson. They gave me the flexibility to do what we needed to do to get the right person in the job and still maintain the integrity of our hiring practices here on campus. I appreciate their help and their support. President Milner and Dr. Tarbox were involved in this all along the way, and so we're excited about it. I would say that I know that there's some pundits out there that might feel like we've developed a pattern in how we're hiring football coaches here. And just a few things. As we undertook this process, we were looking for someone that understands the culture of our state, how to recruit here. It's a little different than everywhere else. The dynamics of the Big Sky Conference, which clearly John L. understands, as he's coached many years in this conference, both at Idaho and also Nevada when it was part of the Big Sky, and at Montana. The belief in integrity, in running a program with integrity, keeping the rules, doing it the right way. The fact that he's an alum is very important to us. He has a deep-seated love for Weber State. He played here. He wants to see the program do well as an alum, a former player, and now as a head coach. He has a passion for this program. There's a method to his madness. You've seen him a little bit over the years. He can get excited, but if you have the chance to meet with him and learn a little bit about him, there's a reason why he does what he does, and we've talked about that. He's always wanted to try to take all of the focus, when it's in a negative sense, off the players and put it on himself. And so that's what he's about, protecting his players, making sure that they're doing the right things. He's demonstrated an ability to create an environment of success, and we clearly want that in our program here, and that's a pattern that I'm interested in. So if there's a pattern there, then it's one that we want. We have lofty goals. We've talked about goals. We have goals to compete in this conference and win championships and to compete at the national level, and I believe he's the man that will lead this program to do that. At this time, I would like to introduce President Miller and have her come up for a few words, and then she'll bring John L. up, and he'll have a few comments to make, and then entertain questions.
This is a great day for Weber State University, a great day to be a Wildcat. The opportunity for us to bring John L. Smith to Weber State University, actually back to Weber State, It's wonderful to have somebody who played in our program, who has been out and had coaching experience across the nation, come back and lead the Wildcats to victory. We are so excited about this opportunity at Weber State University. We've been able to build a strong program, but we all have more goals for this program, and we talked with the coach about that last night. We want to be competitive in the Big Sky. We want to be every year. We want to go for a national championship in the FCS. We believe that if you look at the strength of the Big Sky Conference and our program, that that's something we can do at Weber State University, and that John L. Smith is the guy that can take us there. So if you would come up and join me here. About my fixation for purple. So you will notice that he came appropriately attired. He tells me it's actually a credit to his wife that he came appropriately attired. But we want to give you some more purple, so you have plenty of purple for your wardrobe. So purple tie, and of course, and a Weber tie. Well, they're actually both. This one's good. These are little Weber W's.
This is the flame.
This is the flaming W right in there. And you know, every coach has to have a hat. So we'll expect to see that on you all the time. So.
With my hairline, you will.
We say complete purple, and we want to make sure that you haven't forgotten that you need purple as an alum of this institution. So thank you. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you. I would like to say thank you to President Milner, Vice President Tarbox, Athletic Director Bovee for giving me this opportunity to come back to my home, my school, and an opportunity to build on, you know, what Coach McBride has done as well. He's laid a great foundation. He's done a lot for the program, and thank goodness we can, you know, we're looking forward to building on that program and working closely with Coach McBride in this process. And, you know, a few short years ago, a small-town boy, farm boy from Idaho, Iona, Idaho, drove down here and got out of his car and walked around and looked at this stadium and said, you know what, I've made it to the big time. And that's all I thought, okay? And since then, of course, I've been to, you know, I've coached where Newt Rockney has, and you know, Bear Bryant, some of those places. I've been to the Shoe, I've been to the Big House, I've been to both valleys, Death and Happy. And they are big time. But this morning I came back and drove up here. I couldn't sleep, so it was about daylight, and I drove around and seen the new facilities on campus and drove up here, and I got out of the car in the same sense. I have now made it to the big time, and I truly believe that. I'm back. And happy to be here, and thankful to be here. So, in meeting with President Milner and Vice President Tarbox and Jerry Bovee, of course, we sat down, we talked vision, we've talked goals, and to be honest with you, I'm going to share that. Our goal is to make Weber State a national champion in football. Okay? And you know, it's not the and we're gonna spout it. We're gonna tell recruits about it. We're gonna tell them, hey, come here if you want to be a national champion, because that's what we're going to get done. So that goal is there, that dream is there, that vision is there. But again, I'm going to ask, and we are going to ask everybody out there, from student body, the administration, the faculty, to fans, to boosters. Everybody has to get involved, or it's not going to work. So everybody get behind it. Everybody believe in it. Everybody spout it. Don't be afraid to say it. National champion. Yeah. Okay? So let's serve notice, and now let's all just go make it happen. And it's going to take all of us. You know, the place I just left, we had a saying, and we use it quite a bit. The dream is free. The journey is not. The dream is free, but the journey is not. And the journey begins now. So, that being said, you know, I'm going to throw this open to any questions you might have.
Will
Yes,
you
sir.
be interviewing your staff, or do you think there'll be much staff change? Or
That is the first priority, yes. In fact, that's going to take place here this afternoon. I'll meet with all of the previous staff members, and then we'll go from there. But compiling the staff, was able to sit down with those remaining players that are here, that haven't finished their finals, and already gone home for the holiday. So I got to meet some of those guys, and those guys will be dropping in the meantime as well. So staff being one, and then recruiting being the next step is vital right now. You know, just because of the time frame.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
when you were decided to take the job, what was your motivation?
Jerry Bovee was twisting my arm like this. No, the motivation, I think, is kind of evident. You know, number one, you always, and I've always had a place in my heart, Weber State. I mean, you do that naturally. That's your school. That's where you graduate from. So that fondness, that love, has always been there. And then, again, to come back to run your own program as a head coach again, it is crucial for me. And this hopefully can serve as an opportunity for me to give back something to the university. And that's kind of what I look at it as. So, does that answer that question? Or?
Things, Coach.
And there's a ski hill right here. Yes, sir.
The whole landscape's changed a lot. You know, when you
Very
were
much
up in
so.
Logan, now they're going to a bowl game. Utah's in the Pac-12, BYU's independent. A lot of different changes at the other places as well
Exactly.
since you came.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that coming? Yeah.
No, and I don't think, we haven't seen the end of it. College football is the evolution of what's going to take place here, particularly in the leagues. All of the leagues stealing different, I hate to use the word stealing, or attracting other teams, I guess, and making leagues that no longer are geographical. That's a crazy concept, but it's not over by any means. So where we are right now in the Big Sky Conference, and our fit is tremendous. But you know what you have to do, since we have a championship series, is we got to go win the championship, right? I mean, that's why they have one, don't they?
Coach, can you describe your relationship with Coach McBride and how closely will you work with him?
We've had a very rough relationship over the years. As close as you can be being competitors. He's always been a class individual and treated me with class, and which he continues to do. And like I told him, I need your cell number. I'm going to be calling. I'm going to be asking. I'm going to be inquiring, and I want your opinions on everything from, you know, facilities to players to recruiting and all of that stuff. In fact, we have a meeting scheduled here at 12:30 to go over our personnel. So he is definitely, he's loyal to the program, and he wants to see the program succeed. And so, yeah, we've had a good relationship. Now, we fought several times, yes. Anything else?
Coach,
Yes, sir.
over the years as you've gone to other programs, how much have you followed Weber State's program and their success?
You always try to stay involved and stay related to some degree wherever we have been. What's going on there, how they're doing. You don't get an opportunity, and I've not gotten the opportunity to come back and spend the reunions that our classes in the past and the guys that I've played with have had that opportunity. I've not had that opportunity with the exception of one time, just because it falls at the wrong time of year. You know, we're always, where have I been? I've been playing ball. So my ability to stay involved as I should is not like it should have been probably, but yes, you always make an effort to do that, and always make an effort to stay involved with, like Ron McCall is here. I mean, you know, guys like that you got an opportunity to play with, and that are part of our family. So I'm kind of the wayward part of the family that's finally returned. You know, like I got kicked out of the house early, Now I get to come back.
What about, you've seen both sides of it. How do you feel about playoffs in football at all levels?
Very good question, and I really believe the playoffs are going to come. I hate to see, I'm a big proponent of the bowl system, I'm a big proponent of rewarding kids. So if we can reward every kid in the country, that would be great. But you can't. But the more we can reward, the better. So that's why I love the bowl system. I love those kids, having that reward, having that extra game. You don't want to see them do away with that. But what I fear is going to happen is there's so much money involved that there's going to be a playoff. And it'll be like when we started, 1AA. We started with 4 teams. Okay, then we went to 8, then we went to 16, and now we changed our name and we're to 20, I think. Is that right? In the playoff. So I see it probably growing like that has, but it's inevitable. I think it's going to come.
Coach, I wonder if real briefly you could maybe give us the strengths and weaknesses you want to work on, or the strengths also, and maybe if you're going to keep Coach McBride's motto, his medals, whatever the motto is, I forgot.
That must not be a very good model.
Toughness, the motto that they wear on their hats.
We'll have to look into all of those things, yeah. And like I said, as I look at it, we want to build on what he has done and take as many of those things as we can and move forward with them. But there'll be a little bit of a culture change. I mean, that's just the way it is. I'm a different guy. I'm a different guy than he is.
What would maybe be
a different staff than they are?
Some strengths and some weaknesses that are paramount to you right now?
Well, the first thing right now, of course, paramount is putting a staff together, and deciding on which of the guys that you are going to keep, etc. So that's first and foremost. But let's not forget, I think probably the most important thing is to make sure our football team does well in their academics right now. I mean, you got to come back after the semester. It's like I tried to tell them, don't forget. Okay, even though we didn't have all of them there, you have to do well class-wise. So retaining our present team is important. So there's a lot of important things. So we have to hit the ground running in a lot of areas. And recruiting is crucial right now. Maintaining the commitments that we have, that he has already got on board. So all of those things have to be done in a short period of time.
Coach,
and I have to move my wife from Arkansas. She's anxious to. Yes.
you said that becoming head coach was crucial.
Yes.
Can you explain that a little bit more? What sense of sort of a longing to be a head coach? Or?
Yes, exactly. It's wanting to run again your program. Let's say, even though it's not yours, I hate the word like that. In my belief, is this is us, we, and our. It's not I, me, and my. Okay, so it's not my program, even though I want to be the head of that program. So I think I have a lot to offer young men, and I think I'm good with young men. I know that I am, and I know we're going to put together a staff here that's continue to do that. I know Coach has done that as well, but all of those things. And then coming home. I mean, coming home is an important deal. And then having people accept you when you do come home, that's important too. So don't blackball me right off the bat, okay? Oh, you'll get tons of quotes, believe me, don't worry. Yes, sir?
What do you have left to do in Arkansas?
My wife is packing as we speak. I have to go back and pack my office and say goodbyes to kids, which is always a tearful thing. But that happens every year in coaching because you have your seniors leave every year. So that's a sad part that you have to go through. So you have to go back and say goodbye to the kids and say goodbye to the coaches that you've coached with. And those guys are my family. I mean, the Petrino brothers worked for me for several years in several different places. So you have to go say basically goodbye. And then I'm going to move my wife out to Louisville where we have a house to sell and a lot of things to sell. And then we're moving to Utah. And she's anxious to get here.
How about coaching? What's left with your coaching?
Good question there. I will not, there are too many things to do here. I mean, I won't be coaching through that bowl game. Possibly I could go back for the game, but no. We've got to get to work here, if that's what you were asking. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Would you share with us how you became involved in the selection process with Weaver State?
Well, I think I called Jared Bovee and said, hey, I know of a good coach. I believe that was exactly the way it was, to be honest with you. And as you, again, you know, you look at it and you say, my goodness, wouldn't that be great if you could go back to your alma mater? I think everybody out there in the profession, in the coaching profession, that's something that you don't get to do, that maybe all of us don't get to do, that everybody would love to do. So I'm blessed. That L does stand for lucky.
Have you had a chance to talk to Sark or Dave?
Dave and I text daily. So, yes, we talked. I have not talked to Sark, but I hear he's doing well, and we'll be in contact.
Well, I know he was always one of your mentors as you were a player.
Oh, exactly. And again, you take a look, you know, the special people in your life, at least as I look at it. My dad, number one. My high school coach, Ralph Hunter, that brought me here, number two. Sark Arslanian is third in line in that line, but there's only a handful of those people who say, these people have been the influence of my life. So I have a great love for him.
You and Dave were teammates together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's where, you know, your philosophies and your beliefs and all of those things are combinations of all of those people.
Coach, how big is the sense of you coming full circle? You started here, you've been coaching for 40 years.
I haven't been that long.
So that's on here.
And you believe the media.
But it is, and kind of coming full circle, I mean, is this, I don't want to say, but is this the last stop? I mean, what's the future look like?
I think I can go till I'm 90. You go till I'm Joe Pa's age? No. Again, without saying so, that would be a plan, yes. But, yeah. As long as I can ski, it's good. Yes, sir.
Earlier you talked about the goals that you have for being competitive in the Big Sky.
That we have.
That we have.
Okay.
Do we have a time frame for those goals?
Starts today, now, the journey. So, yes, sir.
I saw a video presentation last night of your energy and your getting excitable and those kinds of things during the game, and I'm just wondering, after viewing that, I was ready to call it the Cravens Disco. But I'm just wondering if you're gonna, you know, it was a joy to see that kind of an excitement. And
I get very excited. I'm a very emotional individual. I get excited, and I expect our football team to get excited about going to the field every day and working. And that's what it's all about. So when I lose that energy and I lose that passion, then it's time for me to get out. That might answer your question. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Do you have any comments about the facilities as they are now as opposed to
Gorgeous. Gorgeous, and you know, this of course wasn't here. I don't want to tell you what was here, but this is beautiful, and what a great facility. I would think for our league and our division, this is as nice as there is in the country. Okay, yes. Do we need to do some things? Yes, but I'm not going to spout out about what we need. I'll do that to A.D. Bovee behind closed doors before I kind of bring it out here. But there's some things we're going to have to build. It's all a building process. Yeah, I mean, right now, this facility is great. And the practice facilities, we've taken a look, and those look nice. So, yeah, there are a lot of real good things. And that's a tribute to you people that have built this. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm full of questions.
You only get 3.
This will be my last.
Okay.
Are we going to beat BYU in their Coliseum, or is that going to be a showcase?
When do we play them?
Second game.
Second game?
Next year.
Are they coming here? Oh, I know better than that. Believe me, we're going to look forward to that one. Hey, these are all surprises. Who else do we play? I know the league. Don't tell me we play Utah in the same year. No, I know. You say the following year? Athletic directors are great at scheduling, aren't they? Any other questions at all? Yes, sir. Back.
Recruiting, do you think you're behind, or are we okay there? Are you gonna be able to, because of your vast coaching experience places, are you going to be able to expand that, bringing kids from, say, Michigan, are real football players?
No, that's a good question. And I think we have to always continue to look. And as I explained, you know, I think, again, we have to make sure that in Salt Lake, we have a great deal right here, because we have an airport that you can fly almost any place in the country, any decent-sized city, and you really don't have to change a plane. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing to go out and sell mom and dad and say, you can get on a plane here and you can be off that plane and watch your son without going through Atlanta Airport, if that makes sense. So that's a big selling product, yes. Do we have to expand? I think so, a little bit. But in that expansion, we have to keep in mind, you know, where can we do it and where is it cost efficient? Where do we get our biggest bang for the buck? Okay, so going to, let's say, San Antonio might have no relation to us. They don't know us. Okay, where in, let's say, Dallas, they do. Okay, because of, let's say, maybe a population of Polynesian, okay, and Mormon population. Okay, so that would make sense where maybe going somewhere else wouldn't. So you understand what I'm saying? We have to, as we investigate and expand, it has to be intelligent, and we have to know where we're going and where there are some matches and where people, you know what we're all about. So that's a good question.
I just meant your name as much as anything.
They don't know who I am.
Daniel Smith is, man, you're now known nationwide. I mean, we've made a great catch, in my opinion, so. You have to know some high school.
It helps as I walk in the door with the coaches. It helps a ton. It really does. I mean, because, you know, they treat you like a human being. You know, so it will help. Yes, sir.
I'm curious about your offensive and defensive schemes and philosophy. Can you talk about that?
Okay, that's great. I've always been a big believer in, ever since I joined Dennis Erickson years ago, you know, we put this offense together. In fact, it came from him. It actually came from, as I recall, John Elway's high school coach. But this offense that we run, and we've tried to stay with it. It's a pro, multiple, spread offense. We try to give you a little bit of everything. So we still play, you know, with a tight end and at times with a fullback and at times with 2 tight ends. But we're not afraid to spread it and throw it. In fact, as this it developed, you know, we went from a 2-back and finally it went to a 1-back and then finally it went to, you know, years ago when we motioned that back out of the backfield, I had people ask me, well, Coach, don't you think they know you're going to throw it? No, really. So, we're going to do that. We're going to make it exciting. We're going to continue to throw the football. But again, there comes a point in any ball game, okay, and we've always believed this, is that you're going to have to run it to win. Okay? So we better be tough enough to line up and say, at 4th quarter, we have to hang on to the ball for an 8-minute drive and take it down, put it in the end zone to win this ball game, and we have to be able to do that. So, that might answer your question. But again, the offense and the defense has to be tweakable. And by that I mean we're going to go out and recruit the very best athlete we can recruit. Okay? And we're going to get them here. And then if we have to tweak offense or tweak defense to fit them, then that's what we're going to do. And we better be smart enough as a coach to get them in a system and a scheme that they can play. So to answer that question, I guess I can't just come out and say, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We're not. We may be a 4 down, we may be a 3 down. What can we find? as far as the best athlete in the country that's going to come here. So, kind of avoids the question, but kind of answers it, I guess. Other question?
Have you had any opportunity to look at the past few seasons and kind of see where?
I've not gone through and studied like I'm going to, you know, what we've done, and basically it's a study of personnel that's going to take place here in the next, you know, month or so. And so that has to be the biggest thing on my list is not necessarily what we're doing scheme-wise, it's what can this individual do? And getting a true evaluation, my own evaluation of our personnel and what they're capable of. So that's going to be the crucial part of it. Anything else? Sorry I took up all your time, but it's great to be back. And
those of you in the media that would like to stick around, we'll set up a place up here where you can do a little one-on-one time with Coach. One thing I failed to say before, and you know, Dave Fopp, you'll appreciate this, is we've had a chance to talk a little bit. You notice he got a little smarter. I asked him, I said, "You seem smarter than when you were at Utah State," that I remember. And after his experience at Michigan State, he took a chance to kind of reflect and think about the business, and so he said, "I got smarter because I went and did a radio show and worked in the media for a year." And so, come on, guys. I'm touchy for these guys in the front row. So he's a little smarter now. So he'll be around. Again, we thank you all for coming. Thanks for your support. We're excited about the future, and we're going to get going. So appreciate you being here.